Hey guys, welcome to today's episode. So over this past decade, my primary area of expertise, and it was a very steep learning curve, but it was the seminar industry. I did seminars all over the world, and they started off as, the first one was a very small seminar, less than 50 people, but they eventually grew to being major events we would do all over the world. And I think the biggest we ever did had close to 300 people at the Bahamas, Atlantis Casino and Resort in 2014. But I did dozens and dozens of these international retreats that would be in really nice resorts all over the world. Mexico all the way to Asia, and I forget half the countries, there were that many. But as much as I loved the seminar industry, towards those later years, I was starting to go in a different direction. You see, I was always very interested in real estate development. I always loved looking at big buildings and just seeing buildings in general and seeing that whole process of them going from just the foundations to coming together to the end result, whether it was a skyscraper or even a resort. So I was starting to get really interested in that, and sometime around 2015, 2016, I got involved in this project. You can't see it, but to my right, this is a beachfront resort, and it was incredibly run down. The whole place was falling apart. Roofs were caving in. In fact, I remember we had someone come in here who was going to start to manage the renovation for me, and at about 3 a.m., the roof caved in a different room in the villa that he was in, but that's how far gone this place was. So it took almost a year of renovations, and I was learning a lot of this for the first time. I'd never done a project like this. I had a lot of help. I couldn't have done it without that help, but I really loved the process. And even though my main primary company wasn't based here in Costa Rica, it was actually back in Asia, I spent the majority of the time here because I wanted to be so close to the renovation. I mean, every single day I would walk the site, and I just loved watching it come together. I loved watching the construction. I loved seeing it go from this very rundown resort falling apart to something that was starting to look amazing. And the end result was amazing. So that gave me a taste of real estate development, and I really liked that taste. And so after that, I got involved in another project, and this time it was far more ambitious. This was actually an island resort in Fiji. Now this island was incredible. Just incredible. 48 acres, and it had a resort that was the same size as this one. Also about 23 rooms. And like this one, that was also falling apart. So that place was shut down for a little while and it was renovated. And again, I kept on going back. And when I couldn't get back, I would send a camera guy there, someone on the mainland in Fiji. I would send him across for a few days every week just to film the renovations, just so I could see what was going on and to see the whole place coming together. Now, for close to a year, I was running seminars at this place in Costa Rica, and we would keep it full, back-to-back seminars. Every single week there would be a different one, and it was consistently full. We never had a problem with occupancy. And in fact, our biggest problem was capacity. We urgently needed more rooms. We needed more than the 23 rooms, and we needed a bigger seminar room, and that was my plan. So I began the process of getting permits and hiring architects and engineers, and we had all the plans done. I had 3D renderings done of this new extension that was going to be about 20 rooms, and it was this grand block of rooms all facing the ocean, and it was incredible. I was very excited about that. That project ended up getting put on hold. And so here we are almost 4 years later, and I have decided that I am going to resume that project. And so today I met with several engineers, different companies, and I'm just learning more about the process. It's been a while, and it's a very tedious process to do any real estate development here in Costa Rica. You got to get all the permits, you got to get the water permits, you got to get dozens of different permits, and especially when you don't speak Spanish, like me, I do need to learn Spanish. It makes everything else 3 times harder. But it's a process that I enjoy, and this time I've got a little bit more experience under my belt. And so as this process comes together, I'm going to be documenting the whole process, right from the planning stage to laying the foundations, to the actual construction begins, and all the way through to the end result. So you're going to get to see this big development come together from start to finish, and I'm sure I'm going to be learning a lot of lessons along the way. Now, it's really easy to get a concept. It's easy to get plans done, to get the 3D models done and to have all the pretty pictures. But actually seeing something through from vision until completion, that's where the real project management comes into play. That's what really matters. That's the execution part. So that's going to be the tricky part. But again, as I go through the entire process, you're going to see the whole thing come together. Now, by the way, when it comes to real estate development in foreign countries like Costa Rica and abroad, this is exactly the kind of stuff that we talk about at the International Freedom Retreat. This is a 7-day, 6-night event. We do it here in Costa Rica. We just got done doing one a couple of weeks ago, and we've now added new dates for the very next one. It's going to be in August of this year, about 6 months from now. But when you come to this event, you're going to learn all about moving to a different country, whether it's Costa Rica or any number of different attractive countries. And we talk about everything: getting personal bank accounts, getting residence or even citizenship, personal taxes, getting involved in an apartment or buying a house or doing basic real estate development. We don't talk about business or investing or anything like that, but we do talk about the process of relocating and also pros and cons of going into different countries, because really at the end of the day, you want to go to whatever country treats you the best. So if you're not happy with where you are right now and you would like to explore options about moving to a different country like Costa Rica, or it could be anywhere else, it could be Asia or many other countries, then you need to get to that event. Tickets are all inclusive. They include everything from accommodation, food, drinks, entertainment for you and a guest. And all you got to do is show up and we'll show you an incredible time. So if you want more information on that event, I'll put a link below. Get your ticket, and then I'll see you here in August, right here at a beach resort in Costa Rica. And by that stage, my little project should be further along and you can see it in person. Okay, that's it for today, and we'll talk tomorrow.